You say you want financial freedom, you hate your situation, you feel stuck, but what if the truth is you have the power to change? You're just not disciplined enough. Welcome back to my channel where we're building wealth to live life on our own terms, one money move at a time. Today I'm sharing harsh truths from Ramit Sethi's book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I'm Rami, an investor on track to retire in my early 40s, and I share weekly tips to fast track your way to financial freedom without sacrificing the luxuries you care about along the way. So let's get into it. Harsh truth number one, no one's coming to save you. When I was in my early 20s, I thought the world owed me something. I had done everything right, quote unquote. I got good grades, I went to college, I even got a master's degree, and I thought I was perfectly lined up for a super well-paying job. And it didn't happen that way. I had to grind out some not so great jobs, and I had to hustle to find what paid more. It wasn't a linear process to building towards financial freedom. That's why I resonate so much with Ramit's sentiment around the onus being on you to change your situation. It's on us to take control of our lives and stop playing the victim. People complain about not being able to save money for XYZ reason and why they can't get the same results as other people. Yes, the odds are stacked up against some of us, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things that you can take control over. Don't be stuck in the prison of your own mind. You have to decide if you're gonna be the person that lets life happen to them or the person that makes it happen. Someone who lets life happen to them will always find excuses for why things won't move forward. And it doesn't even mean the excuses aren't technically valid. Maybe they don't earn a lot of money or they do have a lot on their plate. But someone who's willing to make it happen is looking for a way through it. They're hungry and scrappy and they have resolve. If they don't make enough, they're figuring out how to make more. They're waking up an hour earlier to educate themselves on personal finance. Financial freedom comes at a cost and you have to grind for it. Harsh truth number two, the little things aren't going to make you rich. We hear tons of stories about how people are skipping a latte or a nice meal so that they can save more for retirement. And while it's important to manage your finances and make sure that you're living below your means, skipping that $5 latte isn't gonna make you rich, unfortunately. Ramit tells a story about a guy who did what he calls rate chasing. He would look for the best high yield savings account interest rate and move his savings to that account every few months. But he found that he was only getting an extra $300 a year with this strategy. Imagine if he'd put his time into optimizing his portfolio or starting a side hustle. That would be worth thousands versus this $300. It's good to want to bargain and make sure that you're getting a good deal, but know that it's actually leading to an important outcome. If you want to retire early, you need to bring out the big guns. You need more income, the right investments, and a lot of time and patience. That's the truth of the matter. Now, if you have a spending problem, absolutely cut out Starbucks. But if you want to retire early and live life on your own terms, it's gonna take more than skipping that morning latte. I realized this early on, and it's one of the biggest reasons that I'm able to retire at 42. I made a good amount of money, but I realized that if I wanted to meaningfully invest, I needed to dramatically increase my income. Becoming a real estate agent allowed me to supercharge my income and investing strategy, and we all know that compound growth plus time equals magic. Harsh truth number three, your limiting beliefs are holding you back. Ramit believes we all have what he calls invisible money scripts. These are stories that we tell ourselves about money, rooted in how we grew up and how our perception of money was shaped. People stay in debt, make terrible financial decisions, and tell themselves that they can't do anything different because of these invisible scripts. One of my invisible scripts was that I needed to have a huge amount of money in my savings account just sitting there to feel like my work was actually leading to something meaningful. I'm a child of immigrants, and the immigrant mentality is save as much as possible. But I left so much uninvested money on the table. Now, while my invisible script wasn't inherently bad, it was limiting. And if I didn't reframe how I thought about saving, I wouldn't be on track to retire early. The reality is we all have beliefs about money, and it's on us to make sure that they're working in our favor. Educate yourself and reframe your mindset. Harsh truth number four is there's a huge cost of waiting. Delaying investing by even a year can cost you thousands in compound growth. Like I said, I focused on saving a lot early in my career. I had thousands of dollars in my Chase savings account growing at 0.5% interest for years. I thought I was doing the right thing. I felt secure logging into my bank and seeing a good balance. But little did I know that investing even a fraction of that money every month after college would have shaved even more time off my retirement journey. Time in the market is the biggest factor for how you're gonna see success. And finally, harsh truth number five, you're probably just financially lazy. There was a season of my life where I was a bit of a frivolous spender. I talked a big game about how I wanted to save more, invest more, do more, but my actions said otherwise. If you don't put your lifestyle in check, it's easy to get there. I had just moved to a new city, I was enjoying brunches and fancy dinners and all the things, and I felt like I had made it. I vividly remember one weekend where I spent over $300 dining out. I realized that if that became a recurring thing, I would spend over $1,000 every month just on eating. I remember thinking, I was not raised like this, I need to rein this in. And so I did. And that taught me a big lesson that Ramit articulates so well in his book. It's not that you can't, it's that you won't. You haven't disciplined yourself to. Sure, maybe you can invest $1,000, but can you invest $500, $200, $50? Stop looking for reasons why it won't work and discipline yourself by starting from somewhere. Overall, I really like Ramit's book. I think it's a great tool to leverage to jumpstart your wealth building journey. Let me know what other harsh truths you're learning on the road to financial freedom. If you want to shave years off your retirement journey, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my weekly tips, and stay financially fabulous.